Hey guys, welcome back. We're here at the Dragin Baits booth, and today we're going to have Evan talk a little bit about what he's got going on and what he's got going new.
Hey Jonathan, thanks.
Sounds
it's great
good.
to see you guys
Good to
again,
see you too,
and
Andy.
we really appreciate it being here. One of the things we want to talk about today at the Tinley Park Show that's really unique in Dragin Baits is that we've come up with a new worm, and this particular worm, we really haven't called it a name yet. We don't have a name for it, but we're certainly looking for options out there to give us some hints on what we should call it. But this particular worm, it's got a really big base on the bottom, which is similar to some of the Shakey heads and stuff like that we have out there. And what I kind of want to let everybody know is that this worm has really got twofold things that it can have. One is that you can pinch it off and use it as a drop shot.
Oh, wow.
The other thing that you can do is you can use it as a long-term worm and use it on a football head or a Shakey head. One of the unique things that this worm gives a lot of action is Dragin Baits has designed a new Shakey head wide gap hook that has a screw lock on it, as well as a new wide gap football hook that has a wide gap on it as well. Okay. And one of the things that we do is that this particular worm, we make the head a little big to screw on there very easily, and it rigs this, and you can see from the video, you'll see that during the shot when it's on the internet, that you can see some tank time on what this worm actually looks like in the tank and how much action is on it. Probably one of the most important things in order to get the action out of this worm is you've really got to incorporate an Aris 2.5 co-matrix spinning reel. It's really, really important. With this carbon modular wrap, it really enhances the ability of these jig heads, and it gives it so much action on using on fluorocarbon line. It's quite amazing is really what it is. So I really encourage guys to take a look at the videos and stuff like that. Later on in the summer, we'll have some on-water scenes with this. Hopefully we'll have Jonathan out there on a boat. We'll do some great YouTube videos and let everybody know exactly how to use this particular worm.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
With the Aris rods, as far as, you know, I mean, it sounds like this is basically for finesse fishing, but you've also got, the football head style. So you can fish this deep, shallow.
You can fish this deep. You can fish it shallow. You know, it's really good for rocky embankments.
Yeah.
It's really good for dragging on the bottom. It's certainly good for all different types of application. One of the unique things about Dragin Baits plastic is, like any type of worm base, when you can keep that worm at a 45 to 60 degree angle, every fish doesn't have to work hard to actually inhale it and eat it. When you keep it in a horizontal fashion, those fish, it takes a lot longer for them to wait for that opportunity where that bait hops up to where they can eat it. And that's one of the unique things about this wide gap. It keeps this bait up at that 45 and 60 degree angle, and you can see that very well in the tank.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see that application, and what it does is it allows them bigger fish. They're very, very curious, and they'll actually come in and take a look at that bait, but most of the time when it's at that angle, they don't even hesitate. They just eat it.
Yeah,
and the sensitivity of these rods with Aris are just unmatched. You know, so you can certainly fish this deep. You can fish it shallow. You can use a Shakey head, a football jig. You know, many different applications that you can have on this.
Yeah, that's great to know too, because I mean, when you're out there fishing, there's a lot of shallow lakes around here. In the Midwest, Illinois, Ohio, but there's a lot of deep ones too.
There's a lot of deep ones too, right?
Having the availability to both of two worlds is the fact that you can fish this lure deep.
Yes.
Fish holding up on deep
That's right.
And structure.
I'll tell you a good example is take a lake like Shelbyville.
Yeah.
You've got some really deep water structure that the fish hang out, and they also hang very shallow in the wood. In this application here, you can fish both of those types of water very effectively with the Dragin Bait soft plastic and a jig or a Shakey head. It's just a really versatile worm. And then if you want, like I said, if you want to drop shot it, if them fish are off the bottom, cut the tail off and drop shot that tail. It works two baits as one. Yeah.
It's got a lot of use to it.
It's got a lot of use to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one thing I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce Ryan Whitacre from Midwest Outdoors.
Sure.
He's a writer for Midwest Outdoors, and he's certainly a big tester of Dragin Bait soft plastics, and he's done quite a bit. And we'd like to let Ryan talk a little bit and tell us what he's actually learned and done.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. I just wanted to talk about this Vibe worm a little bit. I know you've talked about it a lot, but I can't say enough about it.
I know a little bit about it too. I mean, it sounds like from what the last show, it sounds like a pretty good lure.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about this thing is its versatility. You know, it's a finesse bait. It's a short bait, as you can see, but it's got a large profile. You know, so it's not you can catch, you're going to catch a limit on this, but you're also going to catch your kicker on this, in tournament situations or fun fishing, whatever. But we've caught fish on this thing, drop shotting in 20 feet of water, caught it, using shaky heads in shallow water, deep water, fishing on this football head jig. That football head jig really gives it a better angle. If you see that with that wide gap on there, it's going to make this bait stand up even better than it already did on a straight shank hook. So by screwing it on here, if I can do that.
That looks good. That very small, low profile kind of.
Low profile, and also when it falls, it almost does nothing, and that's a great thing. When you got all these baits out there fluttering all over the place, vibrating all over the place, this thing is going to come straight down, and it's just going to sit there. And any little rod movement, it's going to shake like crazy.
We got the craws. We've got the Bitsy hog. We have the Diablo tube, which is another big, fantastic bait with its tentacles and just a lot of action. You don't have to do a lot to that bait to get a lot of action. The skirted grub, another amazing bedded fish bait, a big rocky smallmouth bait. You know what I mean? It works great up in the north in Escanaba. It works great in the south in Alabama. Table rock. We kill the fish in Table Rock on a Diablo and a skirted grub. It's worked all over the country, and it's a very versatile bait that we certainly enjoy very much using. And us here at Dragin Baits, we can say not enough about it. All we say is grab a bag, and I'll tell you one thing I can tell everybody is that if you do not catch fish on my plastic, I will come to your lake, and I will show you how to use this plastic to catch fish.
That's awesome.
And that challenge is open to anyone in the country. We'll drive anywhere and show everybody exactly how to use this if that's what we got to do to build confidence.
That sounds like a challenge.
It is a challenge, yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you guys.
Hey, thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate it.
Thanks
as
a lot.
always. Thank you
nice
very
to meet you
much.
guys.